So what is the nature of reality? Well, that's not a question that we will answer in a 5-minute video, but I will examine a certain aspect of how the Torah views reality. So first of all, welcome to Torah Andalus. Torah Andalus is a channel where we present the Torah, we study the Torah, and we present it to you in a way that is aligned with the thinking of Chachmei Andalus, which basically is to say that the Chachamim of Andalusia were great scientists, they were great thinkers, they were great philosophers, they were great mathematicians, and there was never in their minds a contradiction between the Torah and science, or between the Torah and wisdom, right? So they always viewed the Torah as the wisest, most scientific, most precise system of knowledge. So there should be no contradiction between what science teaches or what is scientific and what the Torah teaches. So we try to take a very intelligent and beautiful approach to studying Torah. So back to the nature of reality. So there's a famous experiment, the double-slit experiment. I will place a link below for you to learn more about it. But the double-slit experiment has to do with quantum mechanics, and it basically establishes the fact, or perhaps unestablishes the fact, that there is an actual reality out there. And it shows how reality depends on the observer, right? So that what you're looking at, this objective world that we look at, is somehow conditioned by us observing this world, which is to say that the world is not as objective as we think it is, right? So I wanted to just show how the Torah, and this is Torah Andalus, right? So we said that Torah and science are compatible. I wanted to show how the Torah takes a very similar view to this, but there's an additional aspect. So I want to read to you a law, and the law is in Hilchot Gerushin, Perek Aleph, Halacha Yod. Now let me just explain to you the background. So there are 10 requirements for a get, a bill of divorce, to be valid. One of the requirements is that when the husband gives the bill of divorce to his wife, he must give it to her as a bill of divorce. So he must tell her, he must inform her, as he's giving her the bill of divorce, this is for divorce purposes, right? So, and now, when he gives the bill of divorce, it has to be also in the presence of two witnesses. So here's the interesting law. So listen to the law, I will explain it, and it tells us again something about the nature of reality. Amar la'idim, ve'u get ze shani noten la. So there's three parties here. There's a husband, he's the one giving the divorce. There's a wife, she's the one receiving the bill of divorce. And there's witnesses who have to see the husband giving the bill of divorce to the wife. So let's say the husband turns to the witnesses, the husband turns to the witnesses and he says, this is a bill of divorce that I'm about to give to my wife. Watch it because I need you to see it. It has to be idut. And then he gives her the bill of divorce. And as he gives her the bill of divorce, he says, this is some sort of obligation, promissory note. It is some sort of bill that I'm giving you. He doesn't call it a bill of divorce. You notice? He says, shetar chov. Hadezeh kasher. This is considered a valid bill of divorce. So one would say, but hold on. When you give her the bill of divorce, it has to be as a bill of divorce. He has to inform this is a bill of divorce. And if he doesn't, it's not valid. Why is it valid? Well, there's two perspectives on this reality. There was a perspective of the Eidim who witnessed it. And from the perspective of the Eidim, they witnessed the husband giving a valid bill of divorce to his wife as a bill of divorce. From the perspective of the wife, she received a shetar chov, some sort of promissory note, obligatory contract, something that imposes an obligation upon her. Who's right? So you have two perspectives on reality. You have one person and you have the other person, right? Or in this case, one person, the wife, and two people, the edim. And that's why, as a matter of law, this is not a question of empirical reality. This is not a question of metaphysical truth. As a matter of law, as a legal fact, not an empirical fact. That's why it's so important, the pasuk, al pi shenaim edim yakum davar. A fact is established based upon the testimony of two witnesses. That's how we establish facts, legal facts, in Jewish law. Legal facts are facts that the judges can act upon, right? So they have validity in a court of law. So here, the legal facts are established by the two judges, right? The reality that the wife may have observed may be empirically correct. And we're not even questioning that reality, right? He told her, this is a shetar hov, right? And yet, the legal fact is established by the edim. And since he told the edim, I'm giving her this as a bill of divorce, we say, why did he call it a shetar hov? Well, probably he was a little embarrassed to approach his wife in such a hostile manner. He has a bill of divorce. He says, look, this is to your detriment. This, I'm giving you a contract or a statement that is going to be to your detriment. He's pulling back a little, but the legal fact has already been established.